The excitement of Arizona high school lacrosse is addictive. The Arizona Lacrosse League invites you to watch, support, and play lacrosse. It's one of the fastest growing sports, and the action and excitement will keep you coming back. To join a team in your area or to find out about a game in your area, go to ArizonaLacrosseLeague.com. Well, it's one of the most highly anticipated high school finals in Arizona Lacrosse League history. As we welcome you in to beautiful Arcadia High School near downtown Phoenix and the 2014 Arizona Lacrosse League State Championship. It's the #1 ranked Desert Vista Thunder against the 2nd ranked and 2-time defending Brophy Broncos. And welcome to APN Sports, everybody. I'm Jeff Lowry. Well, what a matchup we have here tonight. Desert Vista coming in here, as I said, the #1 ranked team in the state of Arizona. They're also ranked 13th in the West, and they come in with a record of 16-0. A victory tonight will give them their first undefeated season in school history. They're led by head coach Dan Lannon. They've lost just 2 games in the last 2 seasons, both coming last year to the Brophy Broncos, and one of those games was, of course, the state championship in which they lost 6-5. They're hoping to avenge that here tonight, and they certainly have the weapons to do it. On the other side, Brophy is led by their head coach, Bo Pick. He's in his 6th year, 92 wins, 5 losses, a tremendous career and a tremendous tenure at Brophy for Bo Pick, and he's had some great teams. They have won 3 of the last 5 state championships. So tonight it's 1 versus 2, a rematch of last year's championship. I'm Jeff Lowry. I'll be back with the play-by-play in just a moment.
And now the starting lineup for the
Auto Glass Perfection is locally owned and operated and a proud sponsor of the Arizona Lacrosse League. For over 15 years, Auto Glass Perfection's passion is glass. Their focus is on your satisfaction and safety. Call 602-953-7876, or you can go to their website for more at agperfection.com. APN's Encore Gamecast presented by the Arizona Lacrosse League. Jeff Lowry back here from Titans Field on the campus of Arcadia High School, where the Thunder faithful are out here in droves. As Desert Vista, they bring, just a complete team. They are a physical team, if you ask me, and they are led by number 3, Anthony Abadessa, who had the big assist in that April 1st regular season matchup between these 2 teams, a game in which Desert Vista won in overtime, and that was the only time that they led in the game. But they had a strong second half. They possess one of the great face-off men in the state, Lance Pavlina. There he is, number 24. And obviously the Broncos are going to have a big day. They've got to slide on Abadessa. Can't leave him alone. Let the other guys, Votto and Vargas, do all the creating on the offensive side. And, of course, the ground ball game is going to be vital for Bo Pick's Broncos. So we're set to go here. The opening face-off is coming up next. Reserve your next sporting event today with APM Video Sports. Call 623-936-5585 or go to our website at apmvideo.com. Our athlete recruitment films have paved the way to over $35 million in scholarship offers. Today's game is being brought to you by the Arizona Lacrosse League and our Encore Gamecast. Go to ArizonaLacrosseLeague.com for more. Desert Vista coming out, getting set for the opening face-off. And the meeting of the 2 teams in midfield. We're just moments away from what has been an anticipated game all the way back, probably at the beginning of the year, maybe even after the end of last year's championship game. The 2 goalies, Brad Nordstrom, probably the premier goalie here in the state of Arizona, number 26. And Brad Hookham, another senior in goal. So 2 seniors battling here in goal. Desert Vista in the dark blue with the gold trim, and the Brophy Broncos black shorts, white tops. Lance Pavlina, number 24 for Desert Vista, will battle against Corey Pitt. The opening face-off is going to be corralled. Well, I thought maybe for a moment it was going to be corralled by Desert Vista. King trying to get the ground ball. Will Edwards battling number 20 for Brophy as they continue to battle for the opening possession, and it's going to be Desert Vista, and this game is underway. The 2014 state championship Encore Gamecast, APN Video Sports, and our website, apnvideo.com. And Kukulis. And coming in on the fly is number 7, Ryan Lewis, the outstanding midfielder, as we are 45 seconds into the contest and scoreless. So Desert Vista settling in on a 6-on-6 here, just underway. Kukulis attacking from the right side. He'll take the game's first shot, and I think Nordstrom may have gotten a piece of that. That'll be the first save of the game with 1 minute into the contest, and the ball flying out of bounds on the long pass to Swift, and there's your first turnover, and it belongs to Brophy. Desert Vista possession here. Minute 15 into the contest, no score. Ryan Lewis as Desert Vista moving left to right on your television screen. What a magical year for Dan Lannon. In his 6th season, they are 16-0. 39 getting a touch. David Zingali, another senior midfielder. And if you talk to the people in the circles of Desert Vista, as the dangerous Abadessa had that shot thwarted on a great defensive play by the senior defenseman, Pat Barlow. And it was corralled by Nordstrom. So that keeps the score, the game tied at 0-0. Here in the first as we approach the 10-minute mark here. And now Nordstrom bringing it across the retaining line, and he'll give it over to the dangerous Gelfie on the far side. Now Brophy settling into their first possession of the contest. A magical season. If you talk to the Desert Vista faithful, they'll tell you that this is their year. Everything has come together for Dan Lannon. They are making their 3rd trip to the state championship game. Last year being their 2nd. They won it all in 2000 when they defeated Chaparral in the 2nd year of the Arizona Lacrosse League, and back then it was called the A.L.L. And I think when you look at the differential, the point differential, far and away the best in the state of Arizona, as Brophy tried to work it in low, and that was intercepted. So a couple of turnovers here. Outstanding play by Lance Pavlina, 24. And I'll tell you, he's the X factor for this team. A lot of credit should go to number 3, Abadessa, obviously for Desert Vista, 104 points, which led the state. A lot of credit to this potent offense, but this is a balanced team. And I'll tell you what, if Desert Vista walks away with a championship here tonight, it will be because of good, hard-nosed, solid defense and a tremendous offensive attack led by Abadessa. That shot no good. 3 saves already for Nordstrom, but now Abadessa comes flying in and out in front of the crease, pulls the trigger, and he's drawn first blood in this contest, and Abadessa has put his team up 1-0 here in the first quarter. Boy, he is so quick, and if you don't check him and you allow him to get a full head of steam like that, he is unstoppable. He is the most prolific scorer in Arizona Lacrosse League history. He broke Jeff Stroop's record this year, even though we don't have the career totals, and that is not confirmed, but the amount of points that he scored last year, coupled with the points he scored in 8th grade as a varsity member of this Desert Vista team, coming out in the dark uniforms. And what he did his freshman and junior year, he had to have just blown by Jeff Stroop's 250-plus points that he scored in his career. This is Corey Pitt. So 1-0 Desert Vista. We're in the first quarter. Coming up on the 7-minute mark. Working out of X, Gelfie, and he had it broken up. Solid play. Gabe Suarez, a senior midfielder, with the takeaway, and a big ground ball by Jason King as he looks for the clear. Desert Vista in the all-dark uniforms with a 1-0 lead. 7:22 on the clock. Now Vargas. Picked up there by Frakes, the junior long pole for the Broncos. Two-time defending champion, the team in white with the dark pants. And now the dodge, and here's Kukulis going to work, and he had it stripped away. Barlow or Frakes may have gotten a stick in there, and this is going to be a Brophy possession. So Barlow with a long pass. That didn't work the first time, and it didn't work the second time. Swift can't corral it, and at midfield he finally picks up the ball. Now it's loose again, and Kukulis with the ground ball, and he'll bring it across the restraining line, and then he gets leveled on the far side, and Brophy will be a man. They will be down a man here as Swift will head to the sideline. 1-0 Desert Vista. Special thanks goes out to Ben Jones and the Arizona Lacrosse League for allowing us to bring you this championship game and our encore game cast all season long. It was certainly a thrill for us, a pleasure here at APN to bring the state of Arizona and the World Wide Web so many Arizona lacrosse teams and games, and it was a lot of fun. Hate to see the season end, but we got the two elite teams, the two elite programs in the state going at it head-to-head, and Desert Vista on an Abadesa shot. He's going to take another one here, and it's wide right. They lead it 1-0 here in the first quarter. And we're coming up on the halfway point of quarter number one. Desert Vista, a man up here. Good, patient ball rotation, bounce feed, that went into the cross of Brad Nordstrom, the senior, and if Brophy can come up with a championship here tonight, he will become the first goalie in Arizona Lacrosse League history to win three, count them three, state championships. Well, a lot of people think that Bassett did it, but he actually was a two-time winner, but Bassett, who, as we got an illegal procedure, it's going to give it back over to Desert Vista. Pierce Bassett, who went on and actually is in the MLL, the Major League Lacrosse League, and he had went to 4 state championships, lost the first one in 2006 to Chaparral. Came back in 2007 and 8, won back-to-back, and then his team in his senior year again lost to Chaparral in 2009. But he's the only goalie to go to 4 state championships in his high school career. 1-0 lead, 4:50 on the clock here, first quarter action. Desert Vista, slow down offense as they work it around 6-on-6 here. 27 is Max Jensen, a junior midfielder, one of the players that Dan Lannon hopes to step up next year. He's had a good season, but hoping to get even more from this young man and to keep this Desert Vista team a contender for the Final Four or the Final Two. I don't think Final Four is even in the goal-setting plans for Desert Vista. They want to win it all. And Nordstrom has 5 saves already through the first almost 8 minutes here in quarter number one. Well, I'll tell you what, Brophy right now looking a little tied out there. Very deliberate on their passes. And one thing you can't do with this Desert Vista team, because they bring a lot, they've got speed, they've got the physical play, and that's a play there that may have been disrupted by Cade Van Raphorst, number 4. Heading to Duke next year, or in 2 years, he's only a junior. And I'll tell you, this is a young man. He plays quarterback at Desert Vista on the football team. Good clear by Desert Vista, who leads it 1-0. Nice job there, Van Raphorst to Kyle Kerner, and eventually up to Ryan Lewis. And Van Raphorst is one of the guys in the middle on that defense of Dan Lannon's Desert Vista Thunder that could really disrupt a good portion of this Brophy offense here tonight. Zingali back up to Kukulis. Kukulis dodging and gives it up, and the shot is wide. 3:13 on the clock, first quarter action. Desert Vista with a 1-0 lead, looking for more. Work it up top, over to Kukulis. He swims through the defense, now backs off. Get it over to Vargas. Vargas, another one. Big body out there on offense. Takes the shot. Good defense on the slide by Mark Frakes, the junior long stick midfielder defender, playing defense here to start this game. And that keeps it 1-0 in favor of the Desert Vista Thunder. They lost 6-5 in the championship last year. Here's the dodge. Here's the shot. Save. Here's the rebound shot. And no good by number 7, Ryan Lewis. He had a chance. And 6 saves on the day for Brad Nordstrom. And we're going to get quite possibly a slash here. Now we're going to get an illegal cross check, and that was to the head. And that was applied and looked like John Wagner. Much to the disliking of head coach Bo Pick, whose Brophy Broncos are in the state championship game for their 9th straight season. They have won 5 titles altogether. This year marked the 10th consecutive season the Brophy varsity program went to the state semifinals. And as I said at the top of the broadcast, they have won 3 of the last 4 state titles here in Arizona. So a man up again. Can they score? They do, and it's Abadessa for the second time. Man up goal at the 1:57 mark, and the Thunder lead it 2-0. And you talk about time of possession, which is a big term obviously in football. But right now, you take the amount of time that Desert Vista has been in their offensive half of the field, and it's overwhelming. And Brophy cannot survive if that continues here tonight. Gelfi in possession for Brophy, looking to break the ice and get their first score of the game. Having a tough time corralling that ball over there. Daniel Young-Miller, who had 8 points in that regular season matchup a season ago, in that 10-8 victory. Brophy had won both games last year, but Desert Vista won in overtime 8-7 on the 1st of April. They try to pass to Miller up front, trying to corral it as Gagne, the leading scorer in terms of goals for the Broncos. And I think we had procedure against Brophy, and now Desert Vista settling in. So 2 Abadessa goals here in the first quarter has given Desert Vista a 2-0 lead here in the 2014 Arizona Lacrosse League State Championship game. And if you're wondering, is this Division I or Division II, they did away with that last season. Good ball rotation. Provided a shot for Kukulis. Good job by Timmons, but they go to Abadessa again. His swim move provides his 3rd goal. He has the hat trick, and it's 3-0 in favor of the Desert Vista Thunder. So a couple of man-up goals here, and the man advantage goals in the first quarter of play has given the Thunder the early 3-0 lead here. 37 seconds on the clock, and Pavlina does it again. Well, I'll tell you, whether you score off the face-off or not, when you are winning at the alarming rate that this Pavlina has done this year, you talk about field position for a moment. It's the difference from, even if the ball comes loose and the opposing team turns it over after a face-off win, you talk about having to go many times a good portion of the field, as this shot is going to be corralled by Nordstrom. It's just a big part of the game, and Pavlina has dominated as well as the Thunder here in the first. They lead it 3-0. The state championship game will return from Phoenix, Arizona in just a moment.
Anthony Abadessa, 3 goals.
Auto Glass Perfection is locally owned and operated and a proud sponsor of the Arizona Lacrosse League. For over 15 years, Auto Glass Perfection's passion is glass. Their focus is on your satisfaction and safety. Call 602-953-7876, or you can go to their website for more at agperfection.com. Welcome back to Arcadia High School. Quarter number 2 coming up. Jeff Lowry, APM Video Sports alongside. And a special thanks to Auto Glass Replacement, a proud sponsor of the Arizona Lacrosse League. We're ready to go. Pavlina has been sensational. 4 face-offs in that first quarter of play, going up against the senior midfielder Corey Pitt, and he does it again. Desert Vista with a 3-0 lead as we start quarter number 2. Pavlina trying to get it over to someone who can clear it out of their own half as he gives it up to Schaefer. Long stick defender, and Schaefer racing across the restriction line. And well, to recap the scoring in that first quarter, and it was all Abadessa. He had 3 goals in that first quarter. Coming in, he was number 1 in the state of Arizona in points and goals. 34 ground balls, and he was our scoring leader. In fact, he's the only one that has scored, as Nordstrom comes up with his 8th save of the first half. Even though they got 3 goals by him, he was pretty instrumental. I'll tell you what, if it wasn't for Nordstrom being out there, some outstanding saves and outstanding play and goal, this game could be possibly a rout in the making. 10.5 on the clock. Daniel Young-Miller brings it across. Now let's see if Brophy can get back into this game. They've got the weapons. They were led by Brady Gagne with 61 points. Jay Gelfie, number 4 for the Broncos, in possession of the ball right now. He had 61 points on the year, but he was a lot more balanced than Gagne. Gagne with 49 goals, Gelfie 31 goals and 30 points. And then Ryan Murray was 3rd on the team. Corey Pitt, 4 with 29. Daniel Miller, 27-5. Eric Fishman and Alex Paul with 25 each. Whistle, a stop in play. I think Brophy's going to be a man up here.
Brophy goes on the man up.
I thought I saw the official signal unnecessary roughness. And with the bodies flying, that would be the assumption. But Dave Henning, our public address announcer, long time Chandler Wolves coach, and our public announcer here tonight says that was an illegal procedure, so the Broncos turn it over. That's just a heads-up play right there by Connor Anderson. The quick outlet up ahead to number 4, Van Raphorst, who wants to go all the way, and he scores it. How about that? The long stick defender, Cade Van Raphorst, finds the promised land, and it's 4-0 Thunder. That comes at the 9:33 mark here in quarter number 2. And our 6th face-off coming up, and Brophy looking for their first win. Both teams at full strength. Second quarter action. And boy, does Brophy need to, they've got to break the ice here offensively. Face-off. Another win for DV. Another ground ball for Jason King, who was finished. Now, coming into this championship game, he was the 3rd highest total in ground balls this year. And Desert Vista will keep possession in their offensive half. 27, Max Jensen, the junior midfielder, with a quick foot inside the restraining line, and now will regroup, set it up, looks to dodge. He goes with the right, and it was deflected by Nordstrom, his 9th save of the contest. 4-0 Desert Vista in the all-dark uniforms. Abadessa on the restart as they work it up top. Jensen bouncing outside and now starts to move in across the restraining line. Now dodges again and takes his 2nd straight shot, and he's off target. No save on that play. And back up to Max Jensen, the junior. 4-0 lead, 3 first quarter Abadessa goals has set the tone early for Desert Vista, looking for their 2nd state championship game. Dan Lannon has been phenomenal. He has the 3rd highest winning percentage. We got a timeout for Desert Vista. He has the 3rd highest winning percentage, coming in 71 and 23. That's a .750 winning percentage. The team was 3-10 the year before Lannon took over. And as I said, since then, 71 and 23. They were in the finals last year. And he may very well have the best team in the state of Arizona unless Brophy can get their offense going. Nice takeaway there by, is that Swift? Yes, it is, number 30. And Swift is going to clear it for the Broncos. Well, let's see if this gives Brophy a lift here. Trailing 4-0 with 7.5 minutes left to go. They outscored their opponents this year 235 while giving up 63. And you talk about the turnaround Brophy had. They really struggled as a program their first 5 years in existence. They were just 20 wins, 32 losses through their first 5 seasons. But then Derek Dragowski got things turned around in 05. They went to the semifinals, which would be the first of 10 consecutive trips to the semifinals for the Brophy Bronco program, as Gelfie's looking for someone to flash the crease area. Now Miller. Since then, Brophy's is 138-10 by way of record with 5 titles. Chaparral still has the most titles, but Brophy, well, they've been the top program, but Desert Vista wants to start making a name for themselves as one of the great teams in history. And what a defensive play by Gannon Cup for the junior long stick midfielder who took that one away, but then Brophy gets it right back with 6:18 on the clock. Desert Vista with a 4-0 lead here. We're coming to you from Arcadia High School, home of the Titans. I'm Jeff Lowry with APM Video Sports. Book your next sporting event with us. This is Fishman. Eric had 11 goals, 14 assists. He was first on the team in ground balls. He does so many intangibles here, and he's going to have a big game. Maybe not from an offensive standpoint. And right now, you're just seeing a Brophy team that just seems like they're coming out really tight, a little timid here. And that pass almost broken up. Pitt with a nice pickup there. Gets it over to Gelfie. A one-timer out front by Murray. And that one is going to be saved by Hookham. A tremendous job by the Thunder in goal. And it is still 4-0 Desert Vista. Takeaway. Murray knocks it away from Kukulis. And then Gagne with a push. Thunder possession. Another takeaway. Brophy starting to pick it up here on defense. But getting back was the Desert Vista defense. Great job by the Thunder. Gelfie looked up after he picked up the loose ball and found what looked to be 5 defenders in front of him. He was outnumbered 1-5, counting the goalie. Murray tried to do a wraparound shot, another one-timer. And so far, Desert Vista's defense has been stellar. Got a close-up look at Sam Connie. Or check that Kyle Kerner. This defense doing a sensational job. They are shutting out Brophy and now looking to score again, and it's Vargas who blasts one through. A blistering shot past Nordstrom. .4:14 left to go, and it's 5-0 Desert Vista. So one of the killer V's for Desert Vista striking. You've got Votto, who had 77 points this year, which was 4th in the state. Van Raphorst, arguably the best defender in the state. And Vargas, 66 points, 8th overall in the state. And he scores his first 2014 state championship goal here. So Desert Vista has bolted out to a 5-0 lead over Brophy, and the Brophy Bronco faithful, just below our camera well, they are quiet. They are stunned at the start of this game and that their team has been shut out. In the April 1st matchup between these two teams, Brophy took a 4-1 lead at halftime. But I'll tell you what, you go back to the second half of that game, in which Desert Vista outscored Brophy in the second half of that game 7-3 to send it into overtime. They have outscored Brophy in the last 4 quarters of play to the tune of 12-3. So they are playing dominant lacrosse. And they blew out everybody they faced this year. We mentioned their point differential, by far the best, with Brophy second. Desert Vista outscored their opponents 269-43. Abadessa. And they try to get it to Votto out front. Squirts out towards midfield. Good heads-up play there by 13, Chris Schaefer, long stick defender and midfielder. And Cade Van Raphorst with another ground ball. Tremendous job this year by Van Raphorst, doing a lot of intangibles, plus all the takeaways that he had this year. This is Desert Vista's second time out. We're in quarter number 2. You're watching the Arizona Lacrosse League on APN. There's Bo Pick in the middle of the huddle over there as he is explaining to his team, trying to get them offensive-minded here. And it doesn't matter how good Brophy's defense is the rest of this game. If they don't at least get a point up here soon, it's a moot point. Desert Vista's defense has been very good through the first 2 quarters of play. We got 2 minutes left to go here as they look to go up 6-0. But I'll tell you what, I think Brophy has just come out here tight. I think that's been a big reason. We're not seeing that sharpness as Barlow makes a great play on the poke check and turns it over and sends it all the way back to Nordstrom. Coming to you from Arcadia High School. Game time temperature 85 degrees. It's a great night, a beautiful night for lacrosse. Timeout Brophy. Well, Griffin Timmons has made some nice plays, number 10 here for the Broncos in the first half. Down to $1.39, 85 degrees. A pleasant night here. We're about, 5 miles from downtown Phoenix. $1.50 left on the clock here. First half, second quarter action. Gelfie being harassed. And it looked as if Chris Schaefer may have inadvertently got him on the helmet. And that's going to be a 2-minute non-releasable. Remember, that happened back in the first quarter to John Wagner of the Broncos, and the end result was a point for a goal for the Desert Vista Thunder. So man-up situation here. Brophy Broncos in the white tops, the dark shorts. They'll settle in on a 6-on-5. Fishman 22 up top. And the shot taken, that's wide. That was the sophomore Alex Paul, who's played very well this year. He has 19 goals, 6 assists. Now Gelfie. He pulled the trigger, and that one sailed behind the crease. Come back to live action. Now Miller up top. Fishman. And now Miller takes a shot too far out. Rebound, put back. Oh, Murray almost got it to go. It was outside. It was outside the net. So no goal there. Still man-up situation here as Gelfie. From the goal line extended. Hits it to Miller, back to Gelfie. Gelfie just being harassed out there defensively by Connor Anderson, senior defenseman. They're going to need points from, I think they're going to need points from Gagne and Gelfie. These are their two leading scorers. Speaking of Gagne, he takes a shot and it went into the, literally went into the mask. It was stuck in the mask of Brad Hookham. And it will be their possession as we go to the locker room. It's halftime. 5-0 Desert Vista. Auto Glass Perfection is locally owned and operated and a proud sponsor of the Arizona Lacrosse League. For over 15 years, Auto Glass Perfection's passion is glass. Their focus is on your satisfaction and safety. Call 602-953-7876, or you can go to their website for more at agperfection.com. Welcome back to the state championship 2014 Arizona Lacrosse League. Getting set for the second half. Bo Picks, Brophy Broncos trailing Dan Lannon's Desert Vista Thunder by a score of 5-0. 3 goals in the first quarter by Abadessa, 2 in the second by Desert Vista. Van Raphorst, the long stick defender, took a pass, got the clear, and look at Pavlina doing it again. Dominated the face-offs in that first half. And now get the first one to start the second half. Bo Pick, the head coach of the Broncos, as Jason King clears it for DV. He is assisted by Lee DePace and Zach Widman. Shot taken. And the 10th save for Nordstrom, and the Broncos, because of the Nordstrom hustle, comes up with possession. Quickly get it up to Lawless. Dylan Lawless, a junior defenseman. And now Brophy settling in. Need to play with a little more urgency here as Gagne had that one broken up, and a fine job by the long stick defender, the senior Connor Anderson for Desert Vista. We didn't give out. Well, here's Fishman, and we got a flag. And Eric will be sitting, and Brophy will be a man down here. The legal cross-check. Lee DePace, Zach Widman are the two assistant coaches for Bo Pick. I just want to shout out to the outstanding coaching staff of Dan Lannon, Harrison Crawford, John Brossi, Jeff Kuhn, Eric Ho, and Cody Wood, in case I don't get a chance to mention those guys later. And you talk about the dedication. You know, these guys aren't getting paid. Whether or not the head coaches are or not, I don't know. It's none of our business. But there is a lot of dedication with these coaches, whether it's a head coach or an assistant, a lot of time away from the family. Here's the shot. It's high. Abadessa was looking for his first assist of the game, 10:41 on the clock, and DV leads at 5-0. But you got to give a lot of credit to this coaching staff. When you are as good as these two programs, you know they are putting in an awful lot of time. And they've done a sensational job. They have been clearly the two best programs in the state of Arizona this year. Desert Vista, I think, has really catapulted themselves right there with Brophy with what they've done, particularly in the last 3 years. Well, Will Edwards gets a ground ball, 3-year starter for the Brophy Broncos, trying to get on the board first. This is something I have not seen all year after covering a lot of the Brophy games this year, and there is a lot of indecision on the passes. Like I said, they came out a little tight. Now let's see if the sophomore Alex Paul can get it going here as check that, Van Raphorst knocked it away and then goes up, gobbles it up on the ground ball, and then comes up with a nice clear. You can see why Duke is pretty excited to get this young man. Of course, his father is Jeff Van Raphorst, and those of you who are ASU fans, Arizona State football fans, or people who have lived here in the Valley for a while, you know that he was one of the great quarterbacks in ASU history. And his son, Cade, has made a mark as one of the top defensive players. But I'll tell you, it's not just Van Raphorst. You talk about the job that Connor Anderson has done so far in this game at defense. A couple of the others, a swimming shot as Kukulis, who is heading to Bellarmine, Kentucky, a Division I school next season, the senior. He's also on that force team. And it's 5-0 Desert Vista here in the third. Abadessa with Vargas out front, and the ball out of play, and this will be Brophy possession as Will Swift restarts. Right now, Brophy needs to get more, possess more urgency here, more conviction on offense. Down 5-0, third quarter action. 3 goals in the first for Desert Vista. They add 2 more in the second. And now both teams playing pretty even here in quarter number 3. Pitt back to Fishman. Fishman takes a shot. No, he tried to pass it up, and Hookham, a nice job. He got the cross on that pass. Now out of X, Pitt takes a shot. He can't get it to go. Goes out of play. This should be Brophy possession. Third quarter action. Brophy in the wide, and they turn it over. That's a change in possession. On a nice steal, heads-up play by the senior goalie, Brad Hookham. He'll clear it up ahead. Well, I'll tell you, the crowd very loud at the beginning, but they've quieted as you get a close-up look at the young man who will be playing at Duke after his senior year next year. He'll be back. You talk about some of the players coming back. Gannon Kupfer, the long stick midfielder for Desert Vista. Cade Van Raphorst, you got Votto and Jensen coming back, so you got some talent. Zach Shelby, a sophomore. Kyle Kerner, a starting sophomore, or at least one of the players at midfield that gets a lot of playing time. But they do lose Abadessa. That's going to be a huge loss. They do lose Kukulis. And they lose, and actually I forgot, Vargas will be coming back. So Desert Vista should be in good shape next year. Not the same situation for Brophy because they have 9 as here's a takeaway by the Broncos. Here's the shot, it's high. And no good by Daniel Young-Miller. The Broncos are losing 9 senior starters off this team. So they're in a situation where next year could be somewhat of a transitional year, though I would think with the coaching staff of Bo Pick and this program, they're gonna be able to, they're gonna still be up there at the top, even if it is somewhat of a transitional year. Connor Anderson, outstanding ground ball, clears it for Desert Vista. They lead it 5-0. We're in the third. Frakes breaks it up. Frakes battling, number 3. Fishman as they battle for the ground ball and finally get it over to Nordstrom. That's a big win. And now here's John Wagner, the senior midfielder. Let's see if John can get it going here for the Broncos. As Brophy trails 5-0 here in quarter number 3. One of the things I was going to talk about, but apparently has no impact on the game, and the fact of the matter that we're playing on a synthetic turf field, we thought maybe that would benefit the Brophy Broncos because they play their games on turf. They played 13 of their 16 games on a synthetic turf field. as the shot wasn't quite accurate. Alex Paul left it high and wide to the right, and Gelfie was backing it up, and he'll bring it up out from the end line. Trailing 5-0. Brophy has to get on the board. They had 13 games on synthetic turf fields this year. And in contrast that with Desert Vista, they played only 3. But they have the lead, and that's the only thing that matters. And they've got tremendous speed on this team, too. So anytime you talk about the synthetic turf, usually that benefits a team with a lot of speed. Though, now the caveat to that is in Arizona, all the fields play fast. All the fields are hard. That is conducive to a team that has a lot of speed because it never rains here. And all the stadiums and the parks have a very hard surface. So Brophy trying to break the ice. There's a one-timer, and Gagne, boy, a great job by Hooker. And this time a breakthrough on the rebound. The sophomore midfielder Alex Paul has struck, and the Broncos are on the board for the first time. Here in the third quarter with 4:07 left to go, and now trailing 5-1. So it took the Broncos 30 minutes to score their first goal, and it took their sophomore midfielder, Alex Paul, who is going to be a 4-year starter when his high school career is over for the Brophy Broncos. He got a lot of playing time last year. Didn't start a whole lot, but did get a lot of playing time. So Brophy with a chance, and really if they can finish this third quarter strong, and I mean cut it to a 5-3 deficit, they can get back into this game, but they're going to have to continue to play hard defense, but they have to prove they can string some points up against this tremendous defense. And another ground ball win by Schaefer and the Thunder, but then it's stripped back away. Here's Gagne, picks up the loose ball. I think Gelfie on the takeaway there. And Brophy settling in. Gelfie picked up defensively by Ryan Lewis. Or check that. That's number 30. That's Connor Anderson. Anderson breaks it up. And Gelfie had that one taken away. And now Fishman has it stripped away by Cade Van Raphorst from behind. Boy, he makes it look. The scary thing about Van Raphorst, he makes it look so easy. He is so strong, he doesn't have to take a full wind-up on a poke check or a big stick check to pry loose a ball. Nordstrom heads up play, quick outlet. And I've been saying all year long, he is true. I think he's probably the best goalie in the state of Arizona with that quick outlet. Once he is in possession of the ball, he is looking to get rid of it quickly. Another outstanding job by Van Raphorst, but a timeout by Bo Pick, and the Brophy Broncos will save the possession for Brophy. 2:26 left to go. You're watching the Arizona Lacrosse League state championship game. It's the number 2 seeded Brophy Broncos, 15-1 by way of record. You got Desert Vista, the number 1 seed, and from what we understand, they are now ranked 13th in the West, and they are trying to conclude a perfect season, the Desert Vista Thunder, and if they win here today, they will do so and become state champions for the first time since 2000, when they beat the Chaparral Firebirds in the second year of existence of Arizona Lacrosse. Unforced error there, and the ground ball pickup by Jason King. What a job he has done here tonight. A lot of ground balls. We're under 2 minutes left to play here in quarter number 3. Desert Vista in possession. This is Vargas, one of the junior midfielders who will be, or attackmen who will be coming back next year. Desert Vista with a 5-1 lead. They got out to a 3-0 lead. Anthony Abadessa, the league's most prolific scorer in all time, scored the first 3 goals of the game, all coming in the first. Kukulis and Ryan Lewis bounced one in there, and another save for Mr. Nordstrom, 11 of them. course, he had 7 in the first quarter alone, even though Brophy gave up 3 goals in total. And Nordstrom, the highest save percentage this year, at nearly 70% of the shots against, he saved. And he's going to need to save a few more if this Brophy team wants to win this game. They are just having a tough time generating any offense, and I think a big reason has been their inability to pick up the ground balls, but even on the offensive side, it has been they're just not moving it quick enough against what's been a very tough defense. That's outside the cage. Nice opportunity there for Ryan Kukulis, who's heading to Bellarmine, Kentucky next year, Division I school. And here's another situation where the defense harassing picks up the ground ball. Dangerous Abadessa, and a big-time save by Brad Nordstrom. And you get the feeling that any goal here that Desert Vista scores could be may be a game saver for Brophy, because Brophy can ill afford to go down any more points. Another takeaway, another fantastic defensive play, and this time by the face-off specialist, number 24, Lance Pavlina. We head to the 4th. It's all Desert Vista, 5-1. Auto Glass Perfection is locally owned and operated and a proud sponsor of the Arizona Lacrosse League. For over 15 years, Auto Glass Perfection's passion is glass. Their focus is on your satisfaction and safety. Call 602-953-7876, or you can go to their website for more at agperfection.com. Downtown Phoenix on a beautiful Friday night for Arizona Championship Lacrosse. My name is Jeff Lowry. We're back here at home of the Titans, Arcadia High School, around 44th Street or so in Indian School. I think we're a little further east than that. Another face-off win, this time by Desert Vista and Jason King trying to clear it. That trail check there, attempt by Eric Fishman to no avail, and Desert Vista in the dark uniforms with Brophy in the white. They lead it by a score of 5-1 here. Special thanks goes out to the Arizona Lacrosse League for allowing APN to cover today's game. Special thanks to Ben Jones, our public address announcer, the winningest coach in terms of total wins, Dave Henning, and longtime coach for Chandler and one of the pioneers of this league. Had a chance as Desert Vista, a little build up there. Max Jensen. Got to see one of the all-time great guys, Lou Kissling, in attendance here tonight. I know many of you know Lou. Many of the other Arizona Lacrosse League coaches, Bill Casey, I saw Bill Casey here, and Coach Noble from Mountain Point. Congratulations to Coach Noble on an outstanding season as Abadessa with 3 goals, gives it up. The shot saved again by Nordstrom, but couldn't corral it. He battles but in X, and now picks it up. And boy, I'll tell you, well, hold on a minute. It's going back to Desert Vista. Nonetheless, a great play by Nordstrom, and that right there just personifies what he brings to the field. And it's not always what you can do physically or mentally, but that's just sheer hustle on the behalf of Nordstrom. There is Abadessa, the all-time leading scorer, starting to make his move. He'll pass it off, and Votto goes bottom shelf, racing in from the right side. Votto, the second leading scorer on this Desert Vista team in 2014, gets a pass from Abadessa. And that does not look good here for Brophy. Here in the 4th period with 10:22 left to play in regulation, it's Desert Vista 6, Brophy 1. So Abadessa. And now Pavlina, another face-off possession. The thing with Pavlina, a lot of guys will win, teams will win a lot of face-offs, but when the face-off guy himself is actually in possession of the ball and getting the face-off win, that's even more impressive, and he How many times has he done that here tonight? And if you go back to that semifinal game in which they beat South Point 16-4, they came out and won the opening faceoff, scored like within 8 seconds. It was impressive. And Desert Vista right now 10 minutes away from capturing their second state championship in school history and a chance to avenge a 6-5 loss to the same Brophy Bronco team a year ago. Game was played over at Chaparral's Firebird Stadium. Chaparral has won 3 of the last 4. They have won 5 since 2006, and it doesn't look good as Abadessa, falling down, has scored his 4th. And that picture tells the entire story here tonight. As the Desert Vista Thunder, with 9:07 left to go, Abadessa's 4th goal of the night has extended the lead to 7-1. That marks the largest lead here tonight by the Desert Vista Thunder, led by head coach Dan Lannon. Now Brophy. They got to get it going here, and now Will Edwards, the defender. Good, quick ball rotation, and then a bad pass there. Those unforced errors and the lack of the, and I say this because Brophy, I mean, when you follow a team like I've seen this team all year long, they are a team that does not make these kind of mistakes. They don't play tight like this. They're fluid. Their offense is fluid and balanced. They've got a tremendous midfield game. But here tonight, they just have not. It's almost like they're a second behind this defense, and I can't explain it because this is a great team. Obviously, I've been talking about their accolades for the last hour and a half or so. But right now, they are trailing 7-1. Will Edwards coming off the field, and Brophy will be in possession here. 4th quarter action, 7-1 Desert Vista in the 2014 Arizona Lacrosse League State Championship game. They turn this over again. Quickly get it up to Votto. He has 1 goal here tonight. Scored at the 10:22 mark here in this 4th quarter. Desert Vista scored 3 in the first, 2 in the second, shut out in the third, but have added 2 here in the 4th. The lead 7-1. Landon Sabori, number 9, is in there, along with Zach Shelby, 56, a sophomore. So Shelby, the midfielder, he's in possession. He's got some size and hoping to maybe get some valuable championship game experience here. They are attacking, and this is Abadessa, and he will give it up. This is Jensen. And a good check there, that time by 23, Corey Pitt of the Brophy Broncos. 7-1, Desert Vista. Shelby, good pass. Menacing hit by Corey Pitt from behind. Loose ball picked up. Another ground ball by Desert Vista. Ball's on the turf. And it looked like maybe a scooping shot that time by Shelby, but I don't think he really ever had control of it. Desert Vista will retain possession. He tried to scoop it off the rug here at Arcadia High School to no avail. Now Abadessa, 1-on-1. He is so dangerous. A bounce feeds one into the back of the net, and it's 8-1, and that may be all for Brophy. Well, the Broncos were shooting for a 3rd consecutive championship. Only Chaparral has done that in the history of the Arizona Lacrosse High School League. Abadessa scores for the 5th time, and I would probably be safe to say that he will be our APN Sports Player of the Game when this is over. Of course, you'd have to give a lot of credit to Lance Pavlina. He has been sensational in face-off. The defense, I'll tell you, I think the defense is what's won it. right now, I mean, I think even if it was 2 or 3 to nothing right now, I think that might have held up here tonight with the way the defense has played here for Desert Vista. It's been a total team effort. They're looking for more, and they're going to get some more. Votto on a falling down shot straight ahead. He scores his second of the day. Votto with 79 points on the season. And I think the 2,500 plus here in attendance is stunned. And you see some of the people heading for the aisles. 9-1 here, quarter number 3. Well, stay with us at the conclusion of this game. We'll bring you the visuals to the championship. Broncos, Alex Paul, who has accounted for the only Brophy score in this game. 9-1 Desert Vista. Dan Lannon's team has dominated here tonight. Brophy, Alex Paul, and he just simply lost it. Unforced error and another ground ball for Van Raphorst, which I think is his 6th. And Cade will clear it to the far side. Makes it look easy. And now Desert Vista trying to go double-digit scoring here. 16 games coming in. The Thunder 16-0. Scored 269 points. Their opponents only 43. Going to get a push here against Aiden Howard, who we haven't seen a whole lot in this game, and he's another one of the players I know Bo Pick will be looking, maybe a potential all-star next year. Shot is high and no good, but backing up nicely is Desert Vista. They'll keep the possession. Inside of 6 minutes left to play here in it probably will be the 4th and final period of play. Saved by Nordstrom. I got him down for 14 saves here tonight. Good pass, though it may have been a little behind Nick Shine. And another ground ball for Cade. And they work it around. 2 passes and a goal. And what about the sophomores? Zach Shelby puts a scoring tally on the board here, the sophomore. And at the 4:31 mark, Shelby scores, and it's 10-1 Desert Vista. I am completely floored. I cannot believe what I am seeing here at Arcadia High School, and I mean that in terms of a very complimentary to Brophy. Nice swim move there. And a quick goal coming off the face-off. That was a tremendous play by Corey Pitt. And he scores with 4:24 left to go. But I'll tell you, Brophy needed a goal back in the late stages of the 3rd period. And I think this game might have been won essentially when Votto scored at the 10:22 mark and put them up 6-1. Will Edwards, he will challenge that shot taken by Gabe Suarez, a senior midfielder. Cade Van Raphorst has done a great job here on defense. You're looking at number 3, Abadessa. Votto, they'll work it around. 56, Zach Shelby, the sophomore, just scored for the Thunder to give them a 10-1 lead. Since then, the goal by Corey Pitt makes it 10-2. We're inside of 4 minutes left to go. Ryan Lewis, tremendous speed, but lost his balance. And work it out to Sabori, another senior midfielder. Desert Vista. Tapped over to Nordstrom. Trying to keep it out of that end line, and he'll scoop it up. A ground ball for the senior goalie for Brophy, who's going to go down as one of the true great goalies in the state of Arizona. 2 state championships, 3-year starter. Shot Daniel Young Miller, who tore up Desert Vista last year in his junior year over at Thunder Stadium. And boy, it's been a tough night for a great scorer. And Brady Gagne, no doubt about it. He's going to a D1 school, Detroit Mercy, next year. His brother, Landon, the all-time goal scorer in Brophy Bronco history, plays for ASU. The last time I checked, they were #1 in the nation in club ball. And their dad, Jordan Gagne, played box lacrosse in his younger day. Cade Van Ramphorst has already scored. He got the clear. The thing about Cade, I mean, if he's a full head of steam, nobody's going to get in front of him. I guess he weighs about 220 pounds, and he plays football. Now Ryan Kukulis. Ryan will be playing D1 ball next year. John Wagner, a good defender there, trying to push him out of that end line, couldn't get it to go. Pat Barlow picking him up defensively now. And right now, Kukulis and the Desert Vista Thunder just trying to kill some clock. He's got to stay into that box, that pink line, and he is going to take the shot. A little surprised he didn't take it a little earlier. And now you got Preston Ames, a senior in there. Desert Vista with a big-time lead here. They lead it by a score of 10-2. 3 goals in the first, 2 in the second. And then they have erupted for 5 goals here. Those were 5 unanswered goals here in the second before Paul made it, or rather, check that, Pitt made it 10-2 for Brophy, and Brophy throws it away. Another, well, pretty much an unforced error that time. Chris Schaefer, senior defenseman, well, put a star on his helmet. He's had a good night. So's Hookham. And so too Connor Anderson, part of the outstanding defense. As McLaughlin, the junior, stepped out of the box. Or did we get a timeout? Nope. Should be Brophy. Is this This should be Brophy's possession here. Well, apparently maybe a procedure. I didn't see what happened. So anyway, here is Anthony Abadessa, the all-time scorer in Arizona Lacrosse League history, trying to kill the clock here in the late stages of the fourth quarter. Desert Vista scored the first 3 goals of the game. The third coming with 37 seconds, all by number 3 for Desert Vista, who, by the way, is in the dark uniforms, Anthony Abadessa. And they have not looked back. They've led by as many as 9. No, they led by as many as 9, 10-1. Currently lead at 10-2 as Brophy looks to try to make it a little more respectable. Good clear by Nordstrom, and here's the build-up. Here's the shot by Fishman. Another save. Hasn't really had to save a whole lot here tonight. Talking about Brad Hookham, the senior goalie. 14 saves unofficially for Nordstrom and Brophy Broncos, but Brophy will have the possession. We are winding down this championship game. Brophy down to the final 5 seconds. A one-timer, no good to Young Miller. Nobody was home, and that is it. The ball game is over. And in 2014, the Desert Vista Thunder are Arizona High School state champions. What an impressive showing, both offensively and defensively, and from face-off. And it's total bedlam onto the field as the faithful of the Thunder come racing out, many of them in the black T-shirts made up for this lacrosse team, with a tremendous showing. And Dan Lannon, in his 6th season, a man who played for Syracuse, and his team has won it 10-2 in impressive fashion. A tough night for a great Brophy team who had a stellar year, no question about it. They will finish the season 15-2. Desert Vista, their first perfect season at 17-0. Our congratulations to Dan Lannon, Harrison Crawford, his assistant, John Brophy, Jeff Kuhn, Eric Ho, Cody Wood, the entire Desert Vista Thunder staff, and now the
Arizona High School state champion is the Desert Vista Thunder.
Dave Henning announcing the championship, and now Ben Jones, the president of the Arizona Lacrosse League, will give the championship trophy to the Desert Vista Thunder as they hoist it up into the air, and they reign supreme here in the Grand Canyon State. 10-2 is our final score, and our APN Sports Auto Glass Replacement Most Valuable Player with 5 goals. There he is, the senior, Anthony Abadessa.
Number 3, Anthony Abadessa.
Number 7, Pat Barlow, showing a lot of great sportsmanship. And the entire Brophy Broncos did too. Well, like all stems from the coaching. Bo Pick would not allow anything less. Congratulations to the Thunder, the 2014 state champions. This has been a presentation of APM Video Sports and the Arizona Lacrosse League. Jeff Lowry saying good night from Arcadia.